Thanks, everyone. Hi, I'm Sarah Hardwick from Zenzi. Happy holidays to you all. So for us marketers in the marketing world, the holidays take on kind of a different meaning. So it isn't just the season of strategic planning, which it always is for us around this time of year, but we talk a lot about how we can help you guys make the best use of your marketing dollars. So we call it the magical time of year. So as I'm sitting down with CEOs a lot, what I say is, what we want to do is help you not pull numbers out of thin air and watch them vanish over the course of the year. So that's really what we're trying to do here. So what I'm going to be talking about is 3 ways to waste your marketing budget this year. So one of the common themes that I'm seeing as I'm sitting down with all these CEOs is people are really frustrated. And they're frustrated about the exact same thing. Oops, I forgot my... Oops. Uh-oh. Oh. No one has any idea what's working. Now, if you're a more sophisticated e-commerce marketer, you might have some idea of what's actually resulting in sales. But for a lot of us out here who are maybe brick and mortar retailers or sell services, it can be a little more hard to determine exactly what's working and what's not. So it might be the perfect storm of your PR program, it might be your social advertising, all of those things might lead up to what is potentially working. So even if you do know what is working, sometimes it can be even harder to determine why it's working. And that's something that's really a big mystery for a lot of marketers, is not just what's working, but what is motivating customers to buy. And that's absolutely something that CEOs are frustrated about this year. It's a big problem. It's actually a $958 million marketing problem. So real quick, we'll just do some quick math. If everyone can just grab a pen or pencil. Jot down what you expect to spend on your marketing budget this coming year, just ballpark number. It can be 10 grand, 500 grand for those of you big spenders out there. So just have that idea in your mind, then take 60% right off the top. So that's what you stand to lose due to marketing inefficiencies. So 60% of global digital marketing activity investment is wasted due to fraudulent web activity. So that's bots and fake things clicking on the ads that you guys are actually paying for. 77% of online ads are never even seen. Half of clicks on mobile devices, whoops, they're totally accidental. Now, you're more likely to survive a plane crash, to birth twins, to summit Mount Everest, or even to get into MIT than to click on a banner ad. So that's the bad news. Here's the good news. There's hope. Never give up hope. So I think the great thing about groups like Sage is that we can all sit down together, we can share our experience, we can learn from one another, and that's what I hope to do with you guys today, is to share some of the experience that I've been having sitting down with the CEOs who are very frustrated, who don't know what's working, who think that where their marketing dollars are vanishing to is a big mystery, and hopefully help you guys to understand how you can prevent some of these 3 big mistakes. So there's 3 main big money wasters that are happening. Hopefully we can help you guys prevent some of those things from happening. So the first big mistake is ignoring the fact that consumer behavior has dramatically transformed. So just ask Arnold there with his selfie stick, and you'll know. Do you guys know there's actually selfie sticks for pets now that you can attach to your pet's collar and actually see, the videos of your pets? So we're doing some really weird stuff. Consumers are not behaving the way that they should. You can actually text just through a simple text emoji, a text message, and get your favorite pizza from Domino's straight to your door in 30 minutes or less. You can order through a subscription model a $1,000 designer dress, just like you can Netflix through Rent the Runway. You could go on TaskRabbit and get someone to clean out your garage, get someone to fix your window, get someone to repair your dishwasher instantly. You can actually even do Uber. There's an Uber for dog walkers now. So there's no doubt that consumer behavior has dramatically changed now. And I think the biggest mistake that you can make and a huge way to waste money is to not recognize that. Now, up until now, the prevailing school of thought has been, okay, consumers are so connected, right? They're hyper-connected, they're aware, they're always on their phones. That's really driving this change in consumer behavior. So as marketers, our instinct is, we gotta be everywhere. We have to have a Facebook page, and we have to be tweeting, and we have to be out there blogging every single day. And actually, that's a huge mistake, and that's hugely inefficient. So you don't have to be everything to everyone. You don't have to be everywhere. But what you do have to do is be contextually aware. So you have to have what's called contextual omnipresence, kind of a buzzword. You can also just think of it as contextual marketing. And that means that you need to be where consumers want you to be, when they want you to be there. Not everywhere, not all at once, not all at the same time. Where they want you to be, when they want you to be there. And you have to add purpose, and you have to add value. Now, I don't know if anyone could have predicted these things. Now, because of the always-on hyper-connectedness, we're transcending some of these expected categories. So we're not behaving the way that we should because we're exposed to more ideas. We're exposed to new concepts, new trends, and this is really changing the way that we're behaving as consumers. So women over 18 represent a larger proportion of gamers than boys under 18. And baby boomers spend more on tech than any other generation. 40% of baby product purchasers don't even have children. And there's 19-year-old guys who watch Dance Mobs and 73-year-old women who are watching Breaking Bad. Yeah, so smart companies are taking advantage of this. I don't know if you saw recently there was a Star Wars tie-in with CoverGirl. So typically you'd think Star Wars, geeky teens, right? Not so much. CoverGirl Makeup did a line of whites for the droid look and darks for the stormtroopers. So they're recognizing that no longer are these stereotypes in existence. Smart marketers are really starting to transcend that. So we need to embrace this new reality. One thing you guys will notice is that I'm using a lot of memes in my talk today. Memes are pieces of digital content that are shared virally, and they actually create a shared cultural experience. So this is a new reality. There's actually a new field of study called memetics. It's all about how these memes are transformed from person to person over time. So this is the new reality. There's a great study that Accenture just did that showed, while there's huge pitfalls, you can waste a ton of money if you don't adopt to these changes in behavior, there's actually huge opportunity. So the study showed that across 20 business sectors, the potential for growth is $2.4 trillion. So if you can harness these changes, if you can avoid the pitfalls, avoid wasting money, you can actually have a huge potential for growth. Now, mistake number 2 is talking to everyone the exact same way. And this is done really often when you think about speaking to demographics. So I hate to break it to you guys, any of you who have baby boomer campaigns or millennial campaigns, that's a good place to start. But absolutely, demographic campaigns are not going to go deep enough. They're not going to help you to inspire and connect with your audiences. If you think about, I guess, anyone out here, who out here is a mom between the ages of 25 to 55 living in San Diego County? Have any moms out here? Yeah, I fall into that same category. And a lot of times I have clients, these CEOs or marketers saying, hey, I'd love to do a campaign targeting moms. Well, that's great, but which moms? So I don't know about you ladies, but I don't act the exact same way as every other mom who falls into that same demographic category. So we've got the Lululemon moms, we've got the Whole Foods moms, we've got the Walmart moms, we've got the entrepreneur moms. So just because we're all in the same demographic category does not mean that we're going to be making decisions the same way. Our demographics don't drive our behavior. Our values drive our behavior. Our emotions drive our behavior. So speaking to all of us and trying to put out the same message to all of us not only is going to be inefficient and waste your marketing dollars, it's going to actually turn some of us off. So there's that old saying, you can't personalize if you don't know the person. And that's very true. So you have to get to that individual level. You have to get to that heart of what people really care about. And a lot of us, we're kind of like my friend Ron Burgundy here. We're kind of a big deal. And the future of marketing is going to be going beyond these preconceived categories, these preconceived demographic segmentations, and getting to the heart of what we really care about. So mass marketing is absolutely dead, and it's a huge way to waste your marketing budget. Marketers who focus solely on demographics risk missing 70% of potential shoppers. And by 2020, everything that we see, all advertising, is going to be planned and bought using individual level data. So it's going to be exactly, specifically geared to, based on what I've been looking at, where I've been clicking, what I've been doing, what I've been buying. Content that will be served up to me will be personalized to my specific needs. And this is going to pay off because smaller audiences with much more relevant messaging is going to give you guys a higher conversion rate. So you won't be wondering, where your money is vanishing to. You'll be able to see a much higher ROI in those marketing dollars. Unfortunately, not everyone is as forgiving of spam as Ryan Gosling here. And so if we can't speak to demographic segmentation, if that doesn't go deep enough, then what do we do? And the way to go deeper is speaking to people's inner values and speaking to people's inner needs. And an example of this would be, say you're Patagonia, and you're going to sell me a ski jacket. So it's not enough just to sell me a ski jacket anymore. So are you going to sell me the ski jacket that's going to be the most durable, the most long-lasting, that's going to be the only ski jacket I'll ever buy? Or are you going to sell me a ski jacket that is going to have me looking the best as I'm cruising down the slopes? The ski jacket that is the hottest rage with all the celebrities this season? Or is it going to be the ski jacket that is made with the most eco-friendly materials, that has the most sustainable business processes? Those are dramatically different motivations. And so if you don't understand my motivation, if you don't understand me as an individual, you're not going to be successful at selling me that ski jacket. So once you know that, so for Patagonia, they're going to be watching what I'm doing on their website, and they're going to be serving up content that's customized to my needs and to my values. They're going to be sending me an email newsletter that's not specific, to everyone. It's going to be specific to, my needs as an eco-conscious consumer or my needs as a fashion-conscious consumer. And that is going to be the future of marketing. So the last mistake that we hope you don't make is believing that we're all rational creatures. Now, anyone who has been in a relationship or been married or been the mom of a toddler, like me, we know that human beings are not rational creatures. In fact, we're driven by our emotions. And emotions are actually more powerful in many ways than what we rationally believe. A great example of this is YouTube. So YouTube is the second most trafficked search engine right after Google. Now, with all of the information at our fingertips, would you believe what the #1 most common search is on YouTube? Does anyone know? It's how to kiss. So with all of this information at our fingertips, the most common thing that we're searching on is the most basic of human interactions. So going beyond demographics and really speaking to the emotions and speaking to our emotional needs is really critical. So this is a study that Gallup Research just did. The vast majority of customer loyalty and buying decisions are not based on rational considerations. In fact, less than a third are actually rational. And people only shop based on price when price is the only thing that differentiates competing offers. So if there's nothing else going on, if there's no emotional connection, the only place that you can play is price. So if you think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the pyramid, right? That base at the bottom is just all things are equal, the most basic needs. So that's where most marketers play. That's the basic, functional features and benefits. So only when you start moving up that pyramid and getting into psychological needs is when you can actually connect with people on that emotional level. That's when you're making them feel important or cool or making them feel secure or safe or stable. So once you start moving up that pyramid is when you can make that really strong emotional connection. And that's how you can get beyond this price sensitivity. Marketing campaigns that drive emotional engagement outperform the ones that don't by 4 times. So my last tip here is, I think, actually something that Patrick's talk really touched a lot on, and it's about putting your company values out there. So if people don't know what you stand for, how can they be attracted to your company? How can you make an emotional connection with them? And the companies that do this really well, it's huge. When you make that emotional connection, the beauty of emotion is that once you make that connection with someone, people carry it with them. They tell their friends and family, they share it on social networks, they become your passionate advocates. Once you make that connection, that's really invaluable. So you put yourself out there and you can actually attract customers that share those same values. And there are great examples. I was laughing because on Patrick's slide, some companies that I was going to mention as examples, all of them were listed on Patrick's slide of these game-changing companies. I was going to talk about REI and how they did their Opt Outside campaign, right? How they encouraged everyone not to shop online on Black Friday, but to actually get outside and do something. And that is not going to appeal to everyone. Southwest Airlines is another great example. Zappos is another great example. Stone Brewing Company is another great example. You can't be all things to all people. And so if you put yourself out there, you're not going to appeal to everyone, but you're definitely going to attract those customers that actually share your values. So key takeaways, you can have the most beautiful website, you can have the best creative, you can have the funniest social media posts with the most memes, you can have all these great things at work, but if you don't follow these 3 principles, if you don't think about the fact how consumer behavior has changed, if you don't actually start speaking to people in a very highly customized and personalized fashion, and if you don't really connect with us on an emotional level, you stand to waste that 60% of your marketing budget. $100. Ow! It's funny that it's Jerry's phone. That's awesome. Yep. So with that, thank you very much.